Hi everyone. Yeah, I'm going live because most of the time when I go live, nobody really joins, and that's okay. I finally figured out the audio on my live stream when I upload videos. I had to go up to my backup laptop to do it. My new laptop. I don't know. It's not as good as this backup, so I guess. Uh, the reason I want to go live and is if you can see, uh, the subject matter is religion. Okay, and the reason I bring up this subject and I want to talk about it is because, um, first of all, as a background, so you can understand where I'm coming from. I grew up Catholic. My parent that hence my name is Ricardo. Okay? My background is my parents are from Mexico. Okay? I know how to speak Spanish very well. And I grew up as a Catholic, and they pushed it on me. Like, I remember, like, for example, I remember, like, when I was sitting down in the church, I remember my father pulling my ear to get on my knees and pray, because that's what the church was telling us to do, is get on your knees and pray. And he was pulling my ear to do it. And so that's part of my background. So, uh, now I hate my father. And there's a lot of other things that my father's done to me, uh, in my life, to think, well, if you're truly religious, why would you hurt your own kids? You know. So, anyway, now that you know a little bit of my background with religion, hopefully you can understand, where I'm coming from with this. And um, I have a degree in psychology, and I don't really like mentioning that, but I'm doing it because only for the reason that I went to college. When I went to college, I met so many different people from different religions. And then I was like, wait a minute, I grew up Catholic. And then I met people that were Muslim, that were Christian, that were Buddhist, Jewish. And then I was like, wait a minute, but I thought Catholic was the only way. Then they taught me their religion in some way. And I was like, damn, this is crazy, man. It's crazy how you can be divided through just a religion. And even Palestinians fight with whatever God, different gods, and they're right next to each other. And they create wars within each other. And I don't get into that very much. I'm not a researcher with religions, but I know Palestinians and, whatever other country that is, they fight against which God is right, and they even create wars with it. And it's just crazy. It's just dividing people. And the other reason I want to talk about this or mention this is because, uh, my girlfriend, right, ex-girlfriend, I broke up with her, and we would have movie dates, right, Facebook movie dates, and I told her from the very beginning, I don't believe in any religion because I think it divides people. And she kept saying, Jesus Christ, He's our Savior, He's our God, and blah, blah, blah. And I was like, yeah, but what about Allah, and what about Buddha, and what about the what about the Jewish people, and what about any other religion? I don't know all the religions. There's got to be hundreds of them. And then she would repeat scriptures, and I'm like, I read that Bible, King James Bible. Like, I don't care for it anymore. So, anyway, I just want to get that off my chest. If you don't think I'm right, or if you think you disagree, It's fine. Um, um, but religion can divide people, and and it's I'm living it right now by breaking up with my girlfriend, and she's beautiful. She was beautiful. No, she is beautiful. Beautiful looking. She's a beautiful person too. But if you keep pushing it on me, I'm out. I already told my mother and father way back when I was younger. I'm 50 right now. I just turned 50 this year. I told my mother and father, I'm not Catholic anymore. So don't push it on me. If you want to pray, pray to your God. Don't pray for me. I'll take care of myself. To me, prayer is meditation. Sometimes I just take deep breaths and meditate. I don't have to put my hands like this and meditate. Sometimes I just kind of do a hugging motion and for myself and meditate and say, today, I hope is going to be a good day for me. I'm going to try my best to be kind to people and treat people the way I want to be treated. That's it. And then I have a moment of silence. And then when I go out in public, that's the way I am. So that's why I wanted to make this live stream or this video that's going to eventually be uploaded. So I'd like to hear comments on your thoughts about this because, one of the other reason I brought out this subject about religion is because most people that I've met that are religious, very, very kind people. My only difference is don't push your religion on me. If you start doing that, you're pushing me away. Then it's like, I don't go to church anymore. I haven't gone to church since I was like a teenager because I was forced to do that as a kid. And you know what? Actually, that reminds me of a childhood story that I went through. I remember my father, how verbally and physically abusive that he was. And I wanted to join the running team, cross country, and track and field team when I was in, it's called here in the United States, junior high. But he wouldn't let me because my grades were not good enough. So I had a forger. I forged the whatever the application for me to join because as a kid you have to have your parents' consent to do it. So I wasn't here's the thing. I guess the point I'm trying to make is that I had to fight for it. And once I was finally approved to do it, I became a superstar. I mean, what I mean by superstar is I was one of the best runners in the state of Illinois. I finished 5th in state championships, and I became 23rd in the nation at the national championships in college. And I get the point I'm trying to make is that when you truly love something and you fight for it, that's what made me apart from a college degree, that's what made me have a passion for it because I had to fight for that, and I know I was good already, or the teachers told me I was very good, and I was like, I didn't believe them, but then I realized I was one of the best around. So fight for what your dreams are, I guess, is the best point. And I did, and I became a great. I mean, I can show you a big trophy case that I have, and when I've gone out in public, every once in a great while, they're like, "Hey, are you Rick Montalvo? Are you Ricardo Montalvo? I think I know you." And I'm like, there are times where I don't know who they are, but then they remember me because I inspired them. I guess because when you try when you make when you try like with all your heart, with all your mind, all your strength, you inspire people to do better, to be a good person. And that's what I am. I'm a good person. I you know, I donated so much money in my life, and I'm not poor, but I'm not rich. But whenever I have a chance to give some money out to a cause that I believe in, that's what I do. So live your life that way. Live your life in a way where treat yourself right first. Okay, treat yourself right first. Treat the people that around you that you love, uh, in a loving manner, and then communicate. If you no relationship is perfect. If you disagree about something, at least talk about it. But if you go through a pattern, right? If you go through a pattern where the constant same thing keeps happening, maybe that relationship is not right for you. I know it's a negative thing to say, but that's what's happening to me right now. And change is hard sometimes. Um, you know, for example, I'll talk about flat Earth for a little bit now that I'm live streaming. If you want to join, it's cool. If not, this video will post. But flat Earth, like when I grew up as a child, um, I remember being in a classroom, and I used to question the teacher. The first thing is in history class, they taught us. I live here in America. They taught us, oh well, the Indians, and like Thanksgiving, right? The Indian American, and they call them the American Indians now. The Indians lived here before Christopher Columbus discovered America, and I was like, I turned the page back, and I was like, wait, Indians were living here. How does Christopher Columbus discover? Right, that's the right word. Discover. Discover means it's new. It could be new to you, but you can't discover a new land when people are already living there. And I would question the teacher all the time as a kid. And sometimes they would get angry and sent me to the principal's office. Like, I can't question the teacher and the book. So that's where my process started as a truther, as a very young, as a kid, to question the government, to government, govern your mind. And then I started reading other books about how the government works and how crazy satanic they are. And I really looked at the world differently. And so that's when I started reading about flat Earth. And I was like, you know what, that makes sense. Because the ball isn't, we don't, I'm not, I don't, the ball isn't, we don't live on a ball. Water always finds its level. Like, really? Water can cling to a ball, and then they say gravity. Bullshit. It's all bullshit, man. They're all tricking you. If you believe in that, you're lost. You are completely brainwashed, and you will never get out of it. Do you understand what I'm saying? Like, I've been on David Banner's channel, and I've talked about this. We've talked about it. We're good friends. We know each other. We explained our life experience with flat Earth, and I've been on his live stream many times, and he knows that I'm a truther and I'm a flat earther, and and you can use the word flat Earth, right? But the truth is, if you actually speak out in public to people that are maybe on the fence, or maybe they believe on a ball because they were taught a certain way, it's hard to change their mind. You can't. It, they're so brainwashed. They're like, you're crazy, right? But then at least try to, like, what I've tried to do is just explain common sense things, like be have common sense to everything. Because here's the thing: when you go to school, like when I went to school, I'll just speak for myself. You can think for yourself in your own way. When I've been in school, I was indoctrinated. That's the right word. When I was indoctrinated because of the school system and the teachers, they as a kid, you don't know anything, so you believe the teacher of whatever they tell you. you know so you're like, oh, I'm learning, I got an A+, I got an excellent grade, so I'm good, I'm great, right? But they teach you brainwashing things to believe that you live on a ball, a spinning ball, floating, not floating, racing, chasing the sun with all these infinite galaxies, black holes, infinite space, infinite universe. It's all bullshit. It's the exact opposite of the exact thing that we live in. It's a stationary land. Water always finds its level. The moon is local. The sun is local. It's not 93 million miles away. The moon is not 244,100 miles away. It's all bullshit, man. The stars are local. The North Star, back, if you study history, back in the day, when there weren't satellites, when there weren't cell phones, and when people traveled, they knew where the North Star was. So they knew east from west. So they would follow the sky and the North Stars. And there were different things that people talk about where they say there were many moons that happened through whatever the process happened that before they finally got there in their journey. So yeah. So it's hard to go back to your common sense. Finally, I got there. Finally, I got back there years ago. And so I look at everything differently. I deleted so many people from my Facebook account because now I only have truthers on my Facebook account. I don't care about numbers. I don't care about how many people like or dislike me. If they don't like me, we can talk about it. If you want to talk about it, that's fine. I've talked to so many people, and so many people that I've openly talked about it. Like, I've openly talked about flat Earth and about religion and about politics. Talked about politics and about how the government divides people with voting left or right. And that's fine. I mean, I used to vote. I haven't voted in years, since I was like, I don't know, 18. That was the first time I voted. Actually, no, I'm sorry. I voted, and last time I voted, it was Obama, right? But then I started, and I might get censored on this, but Obama, I found out, is gay, right? And Michelle was actually a transgender, and he accidentally called her Michael many times in his speeches. Michael and that's what he said. And I was like, then it's true. Like, it's a Freudian slip, right? That's what psychologists. I have a degree in psychology. That's what psychologists call it. It's a Freudian slip. So After that, I was like, I'm done voting. This is like, they're all puppets. They're all controlling the system for, that's the other division that we have in this country or in other countries is voting, because people fight. Like, why did you vote for him? We're going to be destroyed. This president is destroying our nation. Why? Taxes go up every year. Inflation goes up every year. They reprint money every year. That's why inflation goes up, because they're in control of the currency. Do you understand? I mean, hopefully you all understand this. I researched all this kind of crazy shit that happened. I'm sorry for swearing, but I researched a lot of crazy stuff. And so, like, to go back to flat Earth, um, like Freemasonry and the Illuminati, that's the control system that they're trying to do. They're saying this is this magical way of thinking and saying we live in this infinite universe rather than this stationary plane. They to trick you to think that that gravity can hold a spinning ball. And supposedly, here's the other one. And then if you have a different opinion about it, that's fine. But the United Nations created like this treaty where you can't visit Antarctica. It's military controlled. Because that then, like, we don't know what Antarctica is. It's not a continent. It's just, I don't know what it is. But a lot of flat earthers think it's an ice wall, right? And we're contained and there's a firmament. I don't know for sure of that, right? So I still speculate about that, but the fact that the United Nations created this treaty where you can't travel to Antarctica does raise questions about that there might be further lands, and they don't want people to escape in this government system that we live in. They want you to pay taxes to the government. In a way, we are enslaved. And I work, I have a job. We are enslaved and we work to pay taxes to the government. And here's the other subject. I mean, I have so many subjects to talk about. I really just wanted to talk about religion, but the other subject is taxes. So when you work, right, and I work, you pay taxes every year. Like when you file your taxes, you have, because every time you get a paycheck, they take taxes out of your paycheck, right? State taxes, well, I'm talking about America, state taxes and federal taxes, right? That's the first thing. Second thing, when you buy anything, groceries, whatever you want to buy, there's sales tax, right? And then if you buy like a home, a house, whatever, if you buy property, you have to pay property taxes. It never ends. Taxes, taxes, taxes. And the government, that's what they do. That's why they made this currency. Because we all have to pay the government to govern us, to govern our ment. That's why I stopped watching the news a long time ago. That's why I stopped voting. And, so be careful. I mean, just if you're a real truther, I have to stop using the word truther. If you're a person of common sense, and I'm 50 years old, okay, so I was indoctrinated myself, and I was brainwashed, but I woke up to all these lies, and I went back to my common sense, and that's what, hopefully, that's what that's the way I live my life now. So I noticed I got a like there, and then I think I have a new sub. So thank you, whoever you are. Thank you for liking. Um, Hopefully, other people can listen to this and appreciate it. If you dislike it, it's okay. Don't worry. Um, you know, I've made other people angry because they disagree with me. And you know what? I tell you what, I've lost family members because they disagree with me. I've lost friendships because they think I'm crazy. Anybody who has listened to me on David Banner's live stream understand it, and it's they understand where I come from. So so back to the main point that I was trying to make is just, you know what, I love people who are religious. Okay, I'm not going to put my hands like this because then you might think I'm religious, but I'm not. Okay, I've been pushed into religion. I love people who are religious because most of everyone that I've met that are religious are actually very kind people. 90 something percent, I don't know what percentage I want to put it on. 90 something percent of religious people are actually very, very nice people. But if you push it on me, I'm out. I'll tell you once, nope, I'm not religious. If you do it again, I'll tell you twice. I'm not, I told you I'm not religious. And I'm being kind. See, I'm lowering my voice. I'm not religious. If you do it 3 times, I'm like, didn't you hear me the first time? And the second time, I'm not religious. So don't push it on me. That's all I'm asking. That's all I'm saying. Don't push your religion on me. It divides. See, I broke up with my girlfriend for that reason because she kept pushing it on me. And I loved her. So just, I love all of you. I love anybody who is religion. Just don't push it on somebody else because you can push them away. That's all I'm trying to say. So, but yeah, I hope I touched on a lot of different subjects that, whether you agree or don't agree, it's fine. Thank you for liking whoever that was, and thank you for subbing my channel, whoever that is. I'll be doing another live stream, hopefully soon. I'm not sure, but I always enjoy, like, I think David Banner's going to be coming on in about 4 or 5 hours. So I'm gonna take a break, and then I love you all. Take care of yourselves. I'm gonna end the stream. Okay. Bye.